Life has this beautiful way of surprising us when we least expect it. And today, I'm standing here not as someone trying to impress you, but as someone who's genuinely grateful. Grateful for love, for connection, and for the people who make our world feel a little warmer. My family, well, they have a good news for you. And it's the kind of news that reminds us how powerful love can be, how it can ripple out, touch hearts, and make the ordinary suddenly feel extraordinary. So, take a breath, relax, and let me share something beautiful with you because this moment right here is meant for us. Sometimes life brings moments that feel quiet at first, like a soft breeze you barely notice, and then suddenly the entire world becomes brighter because of it. Today is one of those moments for me. I'm here with a heart full of something warm, something real, something that comes from a place I deeply cherish. And it isn't just my moment. It belongs to the people who raised me, supported me, stood by me, and taught me what love really means. My family, they have a piece of good news for you. And before I tell you what it is, I want to share the feeling behind it, because the feeling is what makes this moment so important. Love, connection, kindness, they're not just concepts we say in passing, they're threads that hold everything meaningful together. Every time we smile at someone, every time we choose understanding over judgment, every time we carry someone's hope when they're too tired to hold it themselves, something beautiful happens. Something invisible but strong. My family believes in that kind of beauty, and the news they want me to share with you comes from that place. It comes from gratitude, it comes from softness, it comes from the idea that we are all a little more connected than we think. When I look back at the moments that shaped me, they're always moments filled with love, sometimes loud, sometimes quiet, but always there. My family taught me that love isn't just something you give or receive, it's something you grow. You water it with patience, protect it with understanding, and let it bloom in its own time. And when it blooms, even one small blossom can change something in someone else's life. That's what today feels like. A blossom opening in slow motion, revealing something that carries joy, hope, and a kind of gentle truth. There's something incredible about being the person asked to deliver good news. You become a bridge. You stand with one foot in the world of the people who love you and the other in the world of those who trust you. And in that space, you get to carry something precious, something meant to brighten someone else's path. That responsibility feels tender to me. It feels sincere, and I want to honor that feeling by speaking from the heart, exactly the way my family would want me to. What they want you to know is simple, but the simplicity of it is exactly what makes it powerful. Sometimes the greatest joys in life aren't wrapped in complexity or decorated with dramatic flair. Sometimes joy is just a quiet truth that arrives at the right moment, takes your hand, and reminds you that you're not alone. My family has been holding this truth close, letting it settle, letting it grow, and now they're ready to share it, not as a grand announcement, but as an offering, like a candle being passed from one pair of hands to another, a small flame that becomes warmer in the sharing. Before I tell you what the news is, let me tell you why it matters. Because good news doesn't exist in a vacuum. It exists in the hearts of the people who believe in you, care for you, and want to make your days a little lighter. And that's the thing about my family. They've always believed that every person deserves a moment of warmth, a moment where the world feels less heavy, a moment where something good finds its way to you. Today is one of those moments. I also want you to feel the love behind this news. Not the dramatic, cinematic kind of love that's designed to impress. I'm talking about the soft, grounded, steady love that doesn't need to shout to be heard. The kind of love that sits beside you when life is hard. The kind that listens without trying to fix everything. The kind that reminds you quietly, you matter. My family carries that kind of love, and they want to offer some of it to you through this message. There's a beauty in being able to say good things are coming. It's like standing on the edge of a sunrise. You can feel the light even before it touches the ground. And that's what this moment is. Standing at the edge of something beautiful. My family has been moving through their own journey, learning, healing, growing, and hoping. And along that journey, they discovered something worth sharing with you, something that isn't just about them, it's about connection, about how our joys can ripple outward and become someone else's hope. As I speak these words, I want you to imagine the feeling of someone gently placing a hand on your shoulder, not to push you forward or pull you somewhere you don't want to go, but to remind you that you're supported, that you belong, that love exists for you even on the days when you struggle to feel it. That's the tone of this message. That's the spirit behind the news. And maybe that's why this moment matters so much to me. Because in life, we don't always get to deliver news that brings light. Sometimes we carry heavy things. Sometimes the world weighs on us in ways we don't expect. So when a moment of joy arrives, when something good is born out of love and shared with sincerity, it deserves to be honored. It deserves to be spoken with care. My family wanted me to share something joyful with you, something that comes from a place of love. They've been holding on to this news like a small treasure, waiting for the right time to reveal it. And the right time is now. But before I say the words, I want you to feel the emotion behind them, the gratitude, the humility, the hope. Because the words alone are simple, but the meaning behind them is deep. You know how sometimes life gives you a moment that feels like a gentle reminder of everything good in the world? A moment when the air feels lighter, when the heart feels fuller, when the future seems a little brighter, even if you can't see all the details. That's what my family is offering. A reminder that love still creates beauty, that joy still blooms, that connection still matters more than we realize. I think about all the moments my family has shared with me, all the times they've held me through my own storms and celebrated with me in my own victories. I think about how love has shaped us, changed us, softened us, and made us better. And I think about how incredible it is that their love doesn't just stay within the walls of our home, it extends outward, reaching those who stand with us. That's who they are. That's the kind of love they live by. And that's the love they hope you feel today. There's something profound about being included in someone else's joy. It's like being invited into a warm room after standing in the cold. And my family wants you to step into that warmth. They want you to feel welcomed, appreciated, and connected. They want you to know that this news is not just theirs. It's something they want to share because they believe joy gets bigger when it's shared and love gets deeper when it's offered freely. So let this moment be what it is meant to be. A soft turning of the page, a quiet opening of something beautiful, a breath of peace, a reminder that even in a world full of noise, something gentle can still touch your heart in a real way. That love, true, steady, compassionate love, can still find its way into your life from unexpected places, from families who care, from voices that carry sincerity, from moments like this. My family has a good news for you, and it comes wrapped in gratitude. It comes delivered with affection. It comes from people who believe in the power of connection. It comes from hearts that want your day to feel brighter. It comes from a place that hopes you will receive it not just with your ears, but with your heart. Because the truth behind it is simple. When something good happens, sharing it is a way of saying, we care. What they want you to feel right now is the warmth of being included, the joy of being thought of, the feeling of being part of something loving. Because every person deserves a moment like that. And today, this moment is yours. My family wanted me to stand here, speak from my heart, and carry their love to you. And that's what I'm doing, with honesty, with gentleness, with the same love they taught me to give. And as this moment unfolds, I want you to breathe it in, let it settle, let it wrap around you like something soft and familiar, because the news they have for you is rooted in love, and love, when given sincerely, doesn't fade, it lingers, it stays, it grows. And that's what today is about, something growing, something warm, something full of light, something meant for you. There is a moment in every heart where something begins to shift, not because life demands it, but because love invites it. A moment that feels like a quiet turning, a soft expansion, the way dawn slowly pushes back the night without rushing or forcing anything. That's the feeling surrounding this message, the feeling my family wants to offer you, carried through me like a voice made of warmth. They asked me to continue speaking to you because their good news isn't just a fact to announce, it's an emotion to share, a presence to create, a gentle light meant to reach you in the most sincere way possible. There's something beautiful about knowing that joy doesn't have boundaries. It doesn't belong to one person, one home, one set of hearts. It stretches, it travels, it reaches. And when shared with genuine intention, it becomes something even more powerful. That is what my family believes. That joy multiplies when it's given freely, and that love carries farther when it's spoken softly. So this message isn't here to impress you. It's here to touch something inside you, something human, something tender, something alive. If you've ever sat with someone you care about and felt the comfort of simply being understood, then you know the kind of energy this moment holds. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's something quieter, like the settling of a heartbeat after a long day. My family's intention is wrapped in that quietness, wrapped in the kind of affection that doesn't need to shine brightly to be felt deeply. They wanted this continuation Because love doesn't appear in fragments. It continues. It stretches out the way sunlight slowly grows along a floorboard. It reaches the places that need it most without being asked. They wanted this message to be long, uninterrupted, expansive, because love itself is expansive. It never stays the same size once it's shared. It grows like water rippling outward from a single touch. And so these words are part of that ripple. Not a speech to finish, not a script to complete, but a living, breathing extension of something meaningful. The news they carry is good, but the intention behind the news is even better. It's built from gratitude, built from hope, built from the quiet belief that you deserve to feel included in a moment that brings brightness to their lives. My family has always taught me that love is not a performance. It's not something you put on display to prove anything. It's the way you show up. It's the way you listen. It's the way you care, even when no one is watching. And that philosophy is woven into every word they want me to share with you. They don't want this message to feel formal or structured. They want it to feel like someone sitting beside you, speaking from the heart, letting the warmth settle naturally into the air between you. There's a softness to this moment that cannot be forced. It comes from knowing that connection is one of the most meaningful experiences we have. When someone reaches out with sincerity, you feel it. You can tell when someone is offering something real. My family's good news is real, and they wanted the feeling around it to be just as real. That's why this keynote isn't rushed, why it doesn't break into parts, why it keeps flowing like a steady current of thought shaped by affection. They believe deeply in the idea that love is a form of guidance. Not guidance that tells you what to do, but guidance that reminds you what you're worthy of joy, worthy of hope, worthy of belonging. And in this message, they want to remind you of that worth. Not through declarations, but through presence, through words that carry care, through the feeling of being brought into a circle of warmth that was never meant to be closed. As this message continues, I want you to imagine the feeling of being thought of in the gentlest way possible. Imagine someone holding a good moment in their life and thinking, I want to share this with you. Not because they have to, not because they expect anything in return, but because their joy feels more complete when you are a part of it. That is the spirit behind this keynote. A spirit of inclusion, a spirit of generosity, a spirit of love that doesn't draw lines or borders. My family has always said that good news is a gift meant for open hands. And they want your hands open, not with expectation, but with comfort, with ease, with the feeling of knowing that whatever moment this is, whatever joy they are bringing through me, it is meant to lighten your heart, even if only for a moment, even if only enough to make you breathe a little deeper than before. Love, as they've always shown me, isn't a grand gesture. It's a steady presence. It's the way someone's voice softens when they speak to you. It's the way someone remembers the small details of what matters to you. It's the warmth you feel, even when nothing is being said at all. And right now, this message is meant to carry that warmth, to extend it toward you like a soft touch, gentle and real. The good news they hold is wrapped in same warmth. And while they haven't placed the news into words yet, they wanted this continuation, this long, flowing expression, because the feeling around the news matters just as much as the words that will eventually reveal it. They want you to be surrounded by love first, so when the news reaches you, it lands softly, beautifully, meaningfully. There is something incredibly loving about preparing a space for someone before giving them something important. It's like tidying a room before inviting them in, making sure the atmosphere feels peaceful, comfortable, safe. That's what this keynote is, a preparation of emotional space, a gathering of softness, a gentle opening like the unfurling of petals before a bloom. The bloom is the news, but this is the opening. My family believes in the importance of letting love unfold naturally, not in a rush, not in fragments, but in a continuous stream, like a river that finds its own way forward. And so these words continue, not for the sake of length, but for the sake of presence. They want to remain here with you a little longer. They want their love to stretch across this moment in a way that feels complete, comforting, and deeply human. If you close your eyes for a second, you might feel the difference between words that fill space and words that fill the heart. My family wants their message to do the latter. They want this keynote to embrace you without pressure, without expectation. Just love reaching across a distance, finding its way to you as naturally as breath finds its way into the lungs. And as this message grows, it carries a simple truth: you matter to them. Your presence matters. Your heart matters. Your part in This moment matters. The good news they're carrying is enriched by the fact that they get to share it with you. And even though the news remains unspoken for now, the love behind it keeps expanding, filling the space in between each sentence, shaping the emotional landscape of this moment. This keynote is meant to feel like a long, warm exhale, a release of tension, a reminder that connection doesn't need to be complicated to be profound. That love doesn't need to shout to be powerful, that sometimes the most meaningful moments are the ones where someone speaks to you gently, openly, intentionally. My family wanted this to be one of those moments. A moment where love is allowed to flow without interruption, a moment where good news is carried not by the excitement of the announcement, but by the depth of the feeling behind it. A moment where their affection for you is clear in every word spoken. Their message continues because love continues, because joy continues, because the intention behind their good news is bigger than the news itself, because they want you to feel surrounded, supported, and appreciated in a way that lasts longer than a sentence.